Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the No ID Podcast. We're going to dig into one of my favorite topics, being a millennial and dating. I have a special guest here. She has her own podcast as well, too. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Michelle Watson. My podcast is called Making Change.
You sound like you're on a job interview right now.
Whatever.
No. Usually, you know what I'm saying, because of the climate and what's going on, my topics have been a little serious on the No ID Podcast. For all y'all that listen, I know I had Being a Black Queen as my last episode. Before that was interview a guy named Benjamin Banks. Before that was Being Black in America. We're just going to lighten it up a little bit this time. We're just going to talk about the aspects of dating in 2020 and how social media, finances, and politics can mess up relationships. So, Michelle, what's your experience with dating and social media being a factor?
I believe that they are two entities that should be kept separate. I have found that social media can be detrimental to a relationship, but it's not. It's only if you allow it to be detrimental to a relationship.
Yeah, I find it the same way. I know. I ain't been on social media that long, but I see now everybody. What is it? WCW, Women Crush Wednesday, Men Crush Monday, Men Bay. I remember back then on MySpace where you had your top 5, right? And your number 1 had to be a little boo thing. And then you had them 3 songs playing in the background describing your relationship.
Throwbacks.
He's a throwback. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I've never really seen a lot of people happy in relationships on social media. I think you're right. I think a lot of times it should be separate, because on social media, you can be anything that you want to be, and then when in real life you something else. So who knows what that relationship is like?
Right. I agree. I feel like on social media, you are able to project and portray whatever you want. People always show the good stuff. They always show the happy relationships, the trips and the cars, but they don't show, the times when they're struggling or their relationship is struggling. So, yeah, definitely people make it seem like, oh, relationship goals, but that ain't always true. Like that's not really painting a clear, authentic picture of like what's really going on. And also as it relates to dating and relationships, like for me personally, I'm single or whatever. And
or whatever.
or whatever. But when I meet someone new, I'm like, nah, we're not doing the social media thing. Like I want you to get to know me. I want to get to know you. I don't want you to be influenced by my social media or me to be influenced by yours. And even if we decide to develop a relationship where it goes a little bit beyond just getting to know each other, I still would rather keep it separate. Not that I have anything to hide, because most of my stuff is public anyway, but just because it's just two separate entities. It should be.
It should be. I agree. From an experience, when I first got Facebook, I just got back on Facebook like last year. So when I first was on Facebook, me and my ex, I would have to literally like post pictures up of, or she would post pictures up of us at a restaurant. Bagels. All we're doing is going to Fridays getting a 2 for $20. You know what I mean? And that was annoying. I'm tired of the photo ops. And I was living at home with my mom. I would go pick her up. It would like, let's say we're going to the movies, right? It's true shit. We going to the movies. Movies start at 8:00. I like to get to the movies like early because I want to see the previews. I want to get a good seating, everything. We have to do a 10-minute photo op. It's like going to the prom. You gotta take a picture, walking, like going to go pick her up. You gotta take a picture in the front yard. You gotta take a picture in front of the car. You gotta take a picture while you're driving. You gotta take a picture when you're in the parking lot. How many goddamn pictures is it? We got the same shit on. So that was mad annoying. And I lied to you not. The night we got engaged. I ain't married. I'm single, by the way. For anybody out there that want, any female out there that wants to, shoot the shot in my DMs. I'm single. But when we got engaged that night, we got in an argument. We got in a cold-blooded argument. Reason being, I had got the ring. The ring got, I didn't get it fitted or nothing. I proposed to her. What do you think we were doing? Photo out. We go out to eat. We supposed to have went somewhere. I think like Chris. We ended up going to Fridays because she took forever on a Friday to go. No, it was Applebee's. She took forever because she wanted to keep taking these pictures. And we in the restaurant taking pictures of the ring. Now I'm not hating about taking a picture of the ring. By all means, take a picture of the ring. Then she getting on the phone. People sending her DMs. People's like, it just, everybody just so excited about seeing her engaged. We get back, I'm supposed to be staying the night. You would think after I propose, I'm going to be in there, and excuse my language to offend anybody, clapping cheeks. I did not get that one piece of cheeks. We got into a whole argument, not about clapping cheeks. I just want to spend some time with the woman I just proposed to. Sad to say, we got engaged in May. By June, we was already broken up. Shit was toxic. That's social media for you.
Right. So it sounds like she was the epitome. I mean, no shade to her, but social media has created a mindset for a lot of people where you got to do it for the gram. Everything you do, you got to post it. Everywhere you go, you got to post it. Everything. We don't even enjoy the moments anymore because we're too busy. You got to post, got to show everybody what you're doing, where you at, who you with. Like, that's a full-time job. And it takes away from creating memories and experiences. And again, it could just be detrimental to relationships. Like, she probably really, not that she wasn't into the relationship, but just sometimes it just hits home, I guess, when what you post and what you really feel are not congruent. Like, but anyway, yeah. I'm good on all that. Like, I don't need bae posting me. I ain't posting bae. Whether I got a bae or don't got a bae, typically nobody ever knows because I feel like it protects the relationship. And until I know that it's real and it's solid, nah, no posting bae on social media. We good.
Yeah, facts. Don't post your bae on social media, man. But social media did tell me about that relationship afterwards because I'm honest on my podcast. I could care less. I even wrote about it in my jokes. Once we broke up in that June of 2014, August of 2014, she was already like on a trip with another dude. So it found out she was actually cheating and stuff. So I guess social media didn't say all that. I don't know. Buddy had a social media. Now, I don't know. Maybe I was just a sad piece. Maybe I was a safe bet. But I don't know, and I actually saw her. I was at one of my shows or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, you're so funny. I didn't like your joke about Subway." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was talking about you, so I know you didn't like it. But yeah, social media. Like, if I'm in a relationship, which I'm not, or if I'm talking to somebody, which I'm not, I don't post it on mine. Most of my social media is for business anyway. At least 98% of the time, it's usually a podcast, a comedy, or something that I'm doing. So I don't give out my social media. I won't lie, but I just won't get let's follow each other so you can look at my pictures type stuff. It's kind of creepy. Like, I prefer the old school way, like, give me your phone number. We shoot a couple of text messages here and there. And then, whether it's a FaceTime or a phone call, I'd rather have that conversation so I can actually hear your vibe instead of seeing your likes and your shares and your retweets,
I agree. And that can be intimidating depending on the other person's personality. Some people, they see that people are liking your post or commenting or with the hard eyes, and they start getting insecure and questioning who that and all of that. Like, it's just, it can be a bit much. So until it's real, or if at all, and it's not that for me, it's not that I'm looking to keep my person a secret. I'm protecting the integrity of our relationship, and I don't need social media to validate that.
Cause you already know what's gonna happen, right? You post up your boo thing. Next thing you know, oh, Shell talking to such and such. There's gonna be a bunch of hating dudes, or even females just gonna be hating for no reason. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel.
Right. It put up it, and they can't put a target on your back because now here come everybody like, oh, they come checking for you. Like they it puts a target on your back where they come checking for you. All of a sudden, was nobody checking for you till you posted Bay, and now everyone wants to, oh, that's who you with, or oh, what about me and you? And most people don't even really want you. They just want to see if they got an opportunity to get on your radar or get your attention. It's all whack. Yeah. It's a no for me. It's a no.
Man, I got a golden rule. I hope y'all listen to this. I will not post any female, any of my anybody that I'm dating on my social media until I meet my mama. Till they meet my mama. Until I get the stamp approval from my dudes, we good. That's just how I feel. And my mama's my world. So I mean, you can call me a mama's boy, but you can tell a lot by a man the way he treats his mother, and I treat my mother very well. So you'll never see me post anybody until I actually get that stamp approved from my mother, because my mother is, I'd rather stick with the one that brought me in instead of the one that can take me out. So that's just being real.
I get it. I can dig it. I respect it.
So I do want to talk about something too that's really, really important in a relationship. Finances. Finances can make or break you, right? So what is your take on finances or money in relationships?
Whew. Well, statistics show that most relationships or marriages end in divorce because of money. That's huge. And being that I work and have worked in the financial sector for like 11 or 12 years now, I see it all the time, and it's real. Like literally how you spend your money or people's spending habits definitely affect a relationship.
So let me ask a question, since we still on finances, right? What is your ideal first date? Like plan it out. Like you for first date, right? Do ask you out, you agree to go out. What is your first date? Like what do you look for as far as like the first date?
Well, I'm a little old school with a twist. Like I don't, and I say with a twist because the first day I don't need him coming to my house picking me up. I'll meet you where we going. Somewhere public, somewhere where we can interact. Not a movie, not anywhere that require us to be sitting still, quiet, not getting to know each other. We need to be eating or walking somewhere or doing something that's interactive, getting to know each other, having conversations. Um, I do expect on a first date for a man to pick up the check, but I'm not showing up with that expectation. I'm prepared. Um, and if if a man didn't pick up the check, I'm trying to be honest with myself. What would I say to my girls? Yeah, it's probably a no for me. Just off of, again, being traditional. Being traditional, I think that if he didn't offer or he didn't pick up the check, and I'm assuming that he asked me out. So if you asking me out, then you need to pick up the check, bro.
Facts. What about like do you think you should be like at a fancy restaurant if y'all were to go out to eat?
No. So one thing about me, and people always get this twisted. They look at me or they think that I'm like bougie, and I think you even called me that before, but we ain't gonna go there.
I did.
Think that I'm bougie or like high maintenance or whatever. I'm really not. Like I'm so girl around the way. Like it don't need to be nothing fancy. Actually, I prefer not the first few dates. I'm cool with whatever. Like not McDonald's, but something that or Burger King. I don't want to have it my way. I don't want to eat fresh at Subway, but something that's just a pull up. Just let's link up, let's connect, let's have a conversation, laugh, whatever. It doesn't have to be anything fancy.
Thank you. I think it should be more about the vibe.
Absolutely.
Like the vibe. Like my first, like a first date with me would be something chill. You right. No movies, no bowling, probably somewhere like pool, where we can actually, it's just me, it's one on one. Or maybe like a little bar or something. I don't know. But as far as like, McDonald's and Burger King, that's hit or miss for me. Cause
I was joking.
I'm about to say, cause I will pull up. We will pull up at a drive-through quick and sit in the parking lot and just vibe. I ain't even gonna lie to you, but it's more like the vibe though. Like my first date, you're right? No, I don't go over the house after the third date. It takes months for me to go over somebody's house. To be honest with you, for all y'all uh, men out there, females out there, don't pull up on the first date. Wait a while, get to know each other before you actually go into somebody's house, because that's a big step. That's a major step.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like from a safety perspective, it's a major step, and even just from an energy perspective, it's a major step. Um, yeah, I feel like we can meet out publicly. Like there's plenty to do away from the house.
Of course, you could do a day date where y'all go to like the park or something, Mount Trashmore, something.
Right. And I'm a sucker for like corny stuff. Like I love, pack a little basket, make some sandwiches. Like we can go have a picnic or sit at the beach. Like I love stuff like that. It's costless. I mean, besides, some lunch meat or whatever. It's a very cost efficient date. It's thoughtful. It's usually more private. It's in a public place, but it's a private, interaction. There's ways to be creative.
It is. You don't gotta pay no $50 for no damn plate meal because the food ain't gonna be that good. The business like that shit ain't gonna be man. That shit. There's a lot of overrated places out here that people go to, and I'm not gonna say their name because they ain't paying. But yeah, there's a lot of overrated places out here that's just disgusting. Um, I think I had one relationship where I was talking to somebody, and our first date literally was because she was renting out her house, her second house. We literally went to Dollar Tree to go get cleaning supplies and Taco Bell, and that was the best first date we had. I actually got to see what she was into when she was into the Dollar Tree. It also showed me she wasn't afraid to go save some money. And then on top of that, the vibe between the two of us was pretty dope. Did I go over that? I went over the house that she was renting. I know it took me a while to get over to the other house, but we ain't talking no more. She got a whole little fiance boo thing or whatever. So um, whatever. So yeah. And what about flowers? How you feel about the flowers thing?
I'm a sucker for flowers. But it's more of the thought of flowers. It's not the flowers themselves. I do have a favorite kind of flower, but and I don't expect that every date or every week or any of that. But I do like the thought of flowers. I like the surprise of flowers. So yeah, I'm a sucker for flowers.
What do you mean, like surprise? Like boom, I'm gonna get them delivered to your crib, or I'm gonna,
Or get delivered to your job, or you know.
it's cheaper to just to go to the store and go pick them up for $5 and then drive.
Or right, that part too, or whatever. Like it's just the thought of the flower. However you get them to me is on you, but like it's the thought of the flowers. Like if a guy, you know, wants to pick them up and bring them to a date, or if we're further along and he comes to the house and brings them with him or invites me to his place and I show up and he presents them, or however he presents them, sends them to my job or whatever, it's the thought of the flower.
It's facts. But I want to go back into like the finances again because
Yeah,
I
we
do
got
need to get this one. I need to get this off my chest. I do. I really do need to get this off my chest. So the other day, me and Michelle work for the same company. We're not gonna mention that company's name. Uh,
Mm-mm.
the other day I was at work and I was running the teller station and a girl comes in there. She was cute, cute girl. Account all messed up, right? Has me print off the balance of her account. Deposits money into her account, deposits like $500 in her account. leaves, comes back like 10 minutes later, has a dude deposit like another $400 in that account. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't know the full scope of that situation. So she deposited money in her account, and then she comes back with him, and he deposits money in her account.
She had me print off the account, the balance before she deposited the money, and she gave it to him.
Okay, so you're assuming at this point, right? You're assuming.
I wasn't assuming. I'm like, what was the purpose of printing off the balance? I wasn't assuming that gang peak gang. Like,
No, Jerome. No, we ain't gonna do that because in our profession, like there could have been a million reasons why she wanted the balance before. Maybe she was trying to prove to him like I really don't have whatever the conversation was. She could be proving like I really don't have the money, and she printed her balance, and then she made a deposit. Maybe he gave her that first 500, or she already had her own that first 500. And she was just proving to him, like, I'm at zero or whatever the balance was. So when he came back with her, I'm sure she got a receipt. And the receipt, if he was with her, reflected what she deposited and what they deposited. So you're assuming that she was being shady or manipulative or whatever.
Doing nothing.
Yes, you was.
I was.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
I was.
Yes, you
right.
But
You're right.
But you just never know. You just never know. There are women out here that are financially on the come up. They may have their own, but not enough to where it's sufficient. So they out here, milking men for money that they may have or trying to get more money. There's guys that they showboat. They like to flaunt money. But we're talking, okay, so let's get back to the finances in the relationship because we're past the whole dating and she trying to get over on the system. Finances in the relationship are important. If you are someone that's financially savvy, you're structured, you're responsible with how you spend your money, and you're dealing with somebody in a relationship or married with someone that spends recklessly, it will weigh down the relationship. It can weigh down the relationship.
How bad can it weigh down a relationship?
Oh, way down. I told you at the beginning, it's one of the number one reasons for divorce.
But we not married, you know what I'm saying? So have you ever been in a situation where somebody wasn't, let's just say, I'm not gonna say financial, they probably made good money or something, but they was referred to like, in the financial world, just gonna be honest, Black people are referred to as liquid money because that money never circulates into the community.
Right.
So, did you ever meet somebody that had a hot hand or was liquid money?
Honestly, a lot of men, again, with me being single and dating, I meet a lot of men, and because of the way I am personally with finances and the way with my profession with finances, I'm a stickler for like how you move, how do you spend your money. But a lot of men that from my experiences, most of them are pretty well to do, but they still spend like their paycheck is promised. And I think that's the issue that people have. They say, oh, I got it, I'm gonna spend it, I'm getting paid another week or 2 weeks or whatever. When, I'm huge on saving and investing and, building wealth for generations, like not just because I got it, I'm gonna spend it because I'm gonna get a check on the 1st or the 15th or in 2 weeks or another week. So yeah, hot hands are out there for sure.
Facts. You're right. And I've had homeboys that's had some liquid money, and I be like, why the hell you ask me for $20? You can make more than me, and you live home with your mama, and you're not paying any bills for your mama. And I was just recently in a situation for 2020 where I actually had to cut the person off because it just got too much for the financial shit. It was like before this pandemic happened, we sitting there talking. Now, for me, I'm gonna be honest. If you're dating me, there are occasions where I will tend to spoil, like pay for your nails, pay for your, feet, whatever to get done, or occasion like a surprise pop up, like a surprise impromptu date or outing or whatever. So before the pandemic happened, um, I had one female that I was actually pretty interested into. It was a little bit of an age difference. I was older. And first thing that comes out her mouth, we on the phone. When you gonna pay for my hair, my nails, my feet done, and my daughter has to go to daycare? Well, this female has an OnlyFans.
Wow.
All right. She's a dancer, comedian, and she also worked at the shipyard. So she got a lot of hats. Now,
Right.
I'm a single mother, so I don't know the situation, but we was actually breaking down finances. We had that conversation. Where is your money going to? The daycare she was paying that she was going to at the time for her daughter was $25, and her baby daddy was paying it. It was $25 a week. It's $100. You live at home with your mom. Where's your money going to? Your OnlyFans is in the top percentile. You charge $28 for your OnlyFans. You're dancing. Where's your? I'm like, I'm trying to figure out where's everything going at. But she blatantly just said, I need to pay for her hair, her nails, her feet, and her child's daycare. I'm looking at her like, no. And like I said, I have no problem doing it occasionally, like a spoil or something. But I have bills as well too, just like anybody on this podcast. Sally Mae is the main woman that's taking my money as we speak.
Mine too.
That is the gold digger of it. That's the one with broken dreams and promises right now. So,
Right.
we had a situation. I had some fraud on my debit card. I agreed. I said, look, I'll give you like $30 to get your nails done. This is how much it costs to get your nails done. I'll give you $30 to get your nails done. I had fraud on my debit card. I get fraud on my debit card. Of course, I bank somewhere that's not even local. I have to wait 3 days for a new debit card to come in the mail. She hits me up. I tell her about it. Next thing you know, she says, I'll call you back. Never calls me back. Goes on a live with some dude. She laying in the bed with him on Facebook.
What?
Yeah.
What?
This is my dating. This is my dating life. I'm being no
You
bullshit.
sure know how to pick them.
Sure do. She goes on a live with a dude. I'm like, I message her on Messenger. I'm like, what's going on? Like, oh, I thought I was gonna get my nails. I said, I thought you were gonna call me back. I thought I was gonna get my nails done on about a weekend. So you could be laid up with some other dude. No, that's not how it works. So time goes on, right? Now we not in no relationship. We just talking. So you start seeing her traits. Next thing you know, I hit her up on Messenger because that's how I would get my responses or whatever. What happens? I'm blocked. I'm blocked. I'm blocked. I hit her up on her phone. I was like, yo, why you block me? She says, I had to block you because you was getting disrespectful. Well, I have a slick mouth, but if it don't make sense, I won't cuss you out or nothing. I'll just tell you it don't make sense. So it don't make sense that I got blocked and then that same night you on the live with a dude laying in the bed. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. She said, oh, okay, well, we're not in a relationship, no problem. Get on IG. This is how social media plays a part. Get on IG. She is on IG, literally bent over. It's a dude with his arm over her butt, and the camera with the lens sticking out is in her butt.
What?
I'm like, what? So I'm like, all right. She got an OnlyFans. I don't, that's what she gonna do. That's what she gonna do. A week later, I'm on IG. I'm promoting the podcast. All I kept seeing was such and such, like post, like post, like post, like post, like post, like post. It's her. Fast forward, I would probably say like last month, we get up there. Once again, she's on live. This time, she is dry humping on this dude with nothing but a tank top on and a thong. and it was true. It was hashtag Bagos. So it was him, her, and this other adult actor, female adult actor. I guess they were shooting the scene and making a porno. I don't know what the hell they were doing.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. I cannot make this shit up. I said, fuck it. I ain't gonna message her no more. But I know I'm getting along with it. I had one female who was from the islands, and I had, had a little thing for her. And I was like shooting my shot or whatever. But this is something that bothered me was the ghosting shit. I would go weeks and months without hearing from her. And then when I would hear from her, it would be, I need some money. I'm at a restaurant, my debit card not working. Well, your phone ain't working either, so have you ever been in a situation like that? Not with the porn and all that other shit.
The ghosting?
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because I had a conversation with a friend recently about ghosting. One, it's a him, but we had totally different definitions of ghosting. Nevertheless, we could agree that ghosting is just somebody falling off the face of the earth, however they choose to do so. So, I've never been ghosted, but I've had the guys that all of a sudden become really unavailable. They don't just totally disappear, but they become way less unavailable than they were prior, or at a previous time. So, but yeah, I don't do well with I don't do well with inconsistency. So if you start off a certain way, but then you start doing that, unavailable or I was busy, all that, nah, we good. My block list, look, let me tell you about my block list. I'm the queen. I'm the queen of block. Anybody that knows me knows my middle name is Block. So, because I believe in protecting my energy, and I also believe that people show up for who and what they want to show up for. So I'm not for everybody. Like, as amazing as I am, I'm not for everybody. I'm joking. I'm not for everyone, and everyone's not for me. So that's okay. I'm not taking it personal. I'm not offended, but the way someone shows up is all you need to, it's very, if you want to know how somebody feels about you, pay attention to how they treat you. If you all of a sudden unavailable, bro, that's cool, but I'm good on you. And you're not about to check in sporadically just to stay on my radar or keep access. Nah, you blocked. We good. Like, nah, we good. I'm working on it.
You good. You good. That's what
I'm working on my abandonment issues.
You are good. You're good. I don't block people. The only person I got blocked is my ex, and that's the one from the engagement. But I don't block anybody, at all at this point. I just ignore you.
See, that is something that I struggle with. As crazy as it may sound, I have a hard time ignoring people because I cannot stand being ignored. Like, you want to surely, ignore me. Like, that's a sure way to piss me off. But so I have a hard time ignoring people. So I block them. That way they text, call, whatever, never penetrates my line, and I don't feel obligated to respond.
You want to do something childish? Comedians, we go a little childish sometimes. Shit. Do something childish? New phone, who this? I do it straight. And I can improvise on any situation because if I get ghosted, I'm a comedian. I travel up and down the road before the pandemic. I travel up and down the road. If I see you in the crowd or I see somebody that we know mutually, I'm going to joke about you. There's something in there that I done wrote about and you in there because I'm writing down everything. So, yeah, but my energy is protected. I'm being honest with you. If you ghost me or you one of people that's inconsistent, like if I text you on Monday and you reply back on like a Friday, but you had read the text messages on that Monday, oh, best believe I'm about to be on some childish shit. Like, for real talk. I could do
See,
like,
I don't do petty. Like, I don't have the energy to do petty. That I'm not doing that with you. Like, if I text you on Monday and you don't respond until Friday, you know, so it does happen sometimes. So sometimes like, for example, you and I, like, you text me, it was business, but you text me about doing a podcast. And I got the text right when I was wrapping up and at work. So I saw it, but I forgot to respond until like a day later. So stuff like that does happen. But when it comes to you dealing with somebody personally and they're always moving like that, yeah, I don't do petty. I'm gonna just block you.
your energy is protected, man. Just, I understand. I don't block. I'm tired of the blocking because it gets tiresome. And then, sometimes I might
You just
make
hit the
up.
button.
Yeah, but then, like, with your iPhone, you be blocking them. And iPhones is kind of disrespectful when you delete a phone number out the phone. They be like, maybe.
Maybe such and such.
Maybe Keisha. Maybe the girl that had the lens in her booty crack. That's what, I mean? that's the maybe, you know what I mean? That's just disrespectful. So I don't want to hit the maybe. But I don't know. I mean, I've been friend zoned a lot. And that's because I grind a little different. This is my thing, right? This is my biggest thing. We all have one thing in common. We always trying to strive for better, no matter your background or whatever the case may be, right? So if I'm grinding for something better, then you should be grinding for something better for yourself as well too. If you saying, I'm just throwing it out here, if you saying, hey, Rome, I want to start a podcast, I'm gonna give you all the tools you need from my mentor that I done got, all the research I done, I'm gonna pass that shit off to you. And I'm gonna push you to make sure you do it. And vice versa. Like if I say I want to do this, you should be pushing me. It should be a balance. And with me, as far as now, why am I single? Because I haven't met somebody that's gonna actually help push me. There is somebody that I have hit up a couple of times, and I've been very interested into this person. Very beautiful person. Got all her teeth. Probably got good credit, which is important back on the finances. But I ain't made no move. And people ask me why I ain't made no move because I feel like I need to do more on my side before I actually come at her the way that I want to come at her.
So you feel inadequate right now?
I wouldn't say inadequate, but I would say, describe inadequate.
Inadequate is what you said, which is basically she got all her ducks in a row and you feel like there's more work that you need to do before you step to her. So you feel inadequate, like you need to level up a little bit. And that's okay.
Yeah, I do feel like I should level up. Because if you've seen this person, you're like, God damn. I just got to come a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just now finding, at 31 years of age, I'm just now finding my niche. I've been making people laugh for years. Now I'm trying to do it professionally. I've been talking shit for years, and I just started the podcast. So, I'm finding my niche, but I feel like I need to come a little bit more correct. And when I mean correct is, I need to be a little bit more stable because I know in my professional life, where I work at now, I'm not happy. And I don't want to bring her into that because then she's going to see the not so laughable and jokeable person. You know what I mean? Because I'm not happy.
Well, I think that, my advice to you, like, I feel like there's always going to be room for growth. If you're always aspiring to grow and develop, like, as a person, professionally, whatever. So, like, she got to meet you where you are and accept you, the authentic you, like the core of you. You don't have to have it all together or, not like your job. Because, okay, you're going to have bad days. So what? Like, she's going to have to accept you, flaws and all. So don't feel like you got to have it all together. All you got to give is you with where you are. You keep on waiting, the opportunity might pass you by. So I'm just saying.
It might. My bad. TV got up on sleep. I was trying to put it on mute. But I'm not. I don't edit this stuff out. I like to keep it raw. Pause. Um, so Michelle, you got a podcast now, right?
I do.
Making Change. What is Making Change? What is that about?
So Making Change is a podcast so let me back up. I am a talker. I've been talking ever since I could talk, I've been talking. And so I'm always sharing like my wealth of knowledge on different subjects, finances, relationships, whatever. And so I had some people say, like, if you had a podcast, I would so listen. And I'm like, eh. And I just kind of started letting it like go over my head. And then I decided like, maybe I really should consider a podcast. So I took it seriously, and I was presented with this name, Making Change. And I was kind of wrestling around with it. And but this whole situation that we're in right now globally with the pandemic and the protests and the justice system and equality, it definitely made me solidify my name as Making Change, because I feel like what the world needs is change. And my podcast, Making Change, is focused on mission, mindset, and money. So making changes in all of those areas: mindsets, generational mindsets, generational curses, unlearning some bad behaviors and mindsets. Money, like we're talking about finances and how people spend. That's an area to make change in for the better. And also our mission for life. Like you mentioned, you're 31 and you're just finding your niche. And so many people live to be 41, 51, 91, like, and they never find a niche. And I truly believe that everyone was created with a purpose. And every morning that we wake up and we have a heartbeat, it's because we have something or someone that needs what we have. And so, anyway, I created the podcast just to share, to create a platform to share and to inspire and, I guess, motivate people in those areas.
So where can they find you at for Making Change?
So you can find me. It's a very, very new podcast. I'm in season 1, episode 1. You can find me on IG at making_change. So MIKING_CHANGE. No cute spelling. And I'm in the process of getting on multiple other platforms. But if you find me on IG, you'll see the link in my bio to listen to my first episode, which is on the George Floyd situation, justice and equality. And I also share on that episode how I have been a victim of racism, where I was pulled over, I was arrested, I had cops and canines and all of that. It was just me. I was by myself. I got pulled over. I got harassed, and I was being, racially profiled. And so I shared that entire experience in my first episode. So check me out on IG, making_change.
Okay, so when's the new episode drop?
You funny. I am working on a new episode. It'll drop sometime this week. You funny.
How am I funny? Hey,
Because you hold it, but I appreciate you because you're holding me accountable. So I presented my whole podcast idea to Jerome, knowing that he's doing his thing, and he's holding me accountable. So I appreciate it. Like, appreciate him keeping me on my toes, keeping me like, all right, Michelle, like when the next podcast dropping, all right, do this, do that. Like I definitely appreciate it. So it will be dropping this week.
And you said with a little attitude.
No, I said that with passion. That was passion, not
That's
attitude.
what you thought about passion projects.
Yeah, passion projects.
So this episode of No ID Podcast, I drop a new episode every Tuesday. Tuesday midnight, I drop a new episode. It's going to be available on 15 platforms. I'm talking about Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Pandora, Podcast Box, Castbox, everything. You can follow the podcast IG page at No ID Podcast. On IG, just NOIDPODCAST. You can also follow my comedian profile on IG at Comedian Rome, COMEDIANROM.
Oh my God, cut it out.
You can also follow that Comedian Rome on Twitter, YouTube, IG, and you can actually book me on Cameo with Jerome Davis. You pay me a certain amount, I can shout you out. This is what we do. We also got merchandise coming. Is in the works. Another logo also. And for all those out there, this podcast will be available. I don't have no drum roll, but bing, bing, bang. On topblackpodcast.org. I just got the approval. So I'll be on the topblackpodcast.org. So
Whoop whoop, doing your thing.
I have
You
to.
inspire me.
That's what I'm here to do. This is season 2 that we are in. This is episode 7. So I'm 17 episodes in. No ID has no identification. Start off interviewing people. But now we're going to some other different topics. I still interview people that's doing great things, such as Michelle with her podcast. I've had a professional wrestler on one. Of course, I had an adult entertainer up there, not the one that I was talking about earlier. I had Sydney Starr, the transgender diva, on the episode of my last season. A couple female comedians, singers. I've had a lot of people up here. I got something actually cooking in the works for y'all outside of the merchandise and outside of the Top Black podcast. So you guys are going to be seeing that pretty soon. So, yeah, make sure when y'all get a chance, y'all follow the podcast. Make sure when y'all get a chance, y'all follow Making_Change, MAKING_Change. This is a dope podcast, another Black creative out there. So, anything you want to sign off with the people with?
No, I don't have anything else. I thank you for having me on as a guest and allowing me to share my platform that I'm establishing. And hopefully this is not the last time that we network.
It won't be. It won't be. Oh, I just want to throw this out here. This is all improvised. Michelle wanted the questions earlier, but I told her I wasn't going to do that. That's my journalistic integrity. So
why would you do that? Because I am calculated. and I am structured to law. But I said I was gonna wing it, so I winged it. So whatever.
Well, I put stir like stirring up a pot. I was supposed to put theory in the wrong direction, but the apple, whatever. But I think you did a good job, yo. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for Making Change. It should be on some platforms in the next 24 hours from the day that this podcast was recorded. Yeah, have a good night.